All right, so in this video, I want to talk about creating better club head speed, more efficient club head speed. When we talk about club head speed, think about that. We want the club head going fast. So in order to get the club head going fast, we don't necessarily want to spin the middle faster. We want to get the edges going faster. So a way to think about this, if I was going to throw a ball, so if I'm Tom Brady and I'm getting ready to throw a ball, could I throw harder when I'm on the run, or could I throw harder with my legs rooted in? See, in the golf swing, when we want to speed the club head up, the key to getting a better energy transfer out to the club head is actually in how we break. So I want to talk a little bit about how that happens in the swing sequence and then give you guys a couple drills to explore. So think about this. The energy transfer out to the club head is at impact. So once the golf ball leaves the club face, how much more energy can we transfer into the ball? So this whole part of the swing over here is about slowing things down. The energy transfer is at impact. So if I'm throwing a football and I'm going to throw it really, really hard, there's no way I can throw as hard when I'm on the run as when my legs are rooted into the ground. So I'm leveraging the ground so that I can transfer energy up the chain into my shoulder girdle, into my hands and arms, and out to the club head. So there's sequential braking that happens in the downswing sequence that equates to an efficient transfer of energy. I wouldn't want to just spin my body out and leave my arms back and shallow the club way out and think that's going to equate to speed, because that's actually going to slow the club head down and ruin my sequence. So in the golf swing, in the downswing sequence, from the top of the backswing into left arm parallel, that movement right there, that sneed squat or that move is designed to sort of catch the pelvis, engage the core, because we're leveraging the ground so that we can transfer energy up to our rib cage, into our shoulder girdle, and into our hands and arms. Then from here, the right arm is going to start to straighten out, because we want to try to keep the right side of our body from bending back too much, because we don't want to move the low point back and we don't want to create shear forces in our lumbar spine. So from left arm parallel down to club parallel, there's a speeding up of my hands or an extensor action of my right elbow that keeps pressure on the grip. That pressure is called lag pressure, and that pressure keeps the club head lagging behind. So then, if I just kept accelerating my body and accelerating my hand speed, I would never transfer the energy out to the club head. If I'm a tuber getting pulled behind a boat, and this is the rope, and let's say my hands are the boat, if I just keep accelerating the boat, the tubers never get flung around the wake. So we've all been behind a boat before tubing. If you see that boat start to slow down and turn, then you know you're going to get flung. So my hand speed is actually peaking in the downswing sequence between left arm parallel and club parallel. And what's influencing my hand speed? Well, part of it's going on in my lower body, my hips and my knees and my shins and my feet and my ankles. And then the next part transfers up to my rib cage and my shoulder girdle and my hands and arms. But then from here, the key to getting a clean energy transfer out to the club head is actually in how good I am at slowing my hands down. Now here's the art of it. As I'm slowing my hands down, I'm going to be speeding the club head up. So as my hands slow down, the energy transfers out to the club head. Now from here, if I don't keep my hip speed up, the club head speed is going to start to overtake the hand speed, and then I can lose control around this corner. So the art of it is in the timing of how my hand speed slows down and how my pivot speed keeps my hand speed up as I come around this corner. Because I don't want to drag it to not flip it. I want to release it back to an inline condition with my lead arm, and as my hands slow down, my pelvis, or the central hub of the rotation, can pick up my hand speed and take my hands and arms up and around, and then from there I can just fold it onto my eye line. So my hand speed slows down to transfer the energy out to the club head, but then my extension and my pivot keep my right elbow, the butt of the club and the club head orbiting around my body on concentric circles. So then from here, I can start to fold the club onto my eye line. My goal is to get my right elbow, the butt of the club, and the club head orbiting around my body at the same rate from impact to club parallel, and then from there, I can just break the radius with my wrists and elbows. So I wanted to share a couple drills that get us some nice, clean energy out to the club head. So this drill, firstly, is a simple one. You grip the club in your right hand only, and the key is you make a big backswing and you make a little short follow through. So I don't want to have the club head go past about a yard out in front of the golf ball. So I can put something out here about a yard out in front of me, and then I load it up with just my right hand only, and then I break. So the breaking of my hand speed and not allowing the club to go past right here is what transfers the energy out to the club head. So it's actually the stopping of my hand speed that gets the energy cleanly out to the club head. So I'm basically just using my throwing mechanics. This trail arm is going to be my throwing and my playing mechanics, and then this lead arm is just going to help me sustain the radius. So I'm just sort of loading up my right arm, shifting my weight over to the left, and then breaking my hand speed. And when they start to sound really clean, and they start to sound really crisp, and they start to jump off the club face, then you're going to know that you're creating really clean, efficient energy out to the club head. So that's one drill. Another drill that I really like is hitting an impact bag. When you hit an impact bag and you break the hand speed, you get really, really good at transferring the energy out to the club head. I don't want to drag the handle. I don't want to just keep accelerating my hand speed, because then I don't get good speed out to the club head. I want to get really, really good at stopping my hand speed. Now, we still have to build this whole part of the golf swing too. And we can talk about maybe in a different video, different follow-through arcs and different hinge actions and, different shapes and trajectories, because this conversation does go on. But just in terms of transferring energy cleanly out to the golf club head, creating good club head speed, the art of that is in how we transfer momentum out to the club head. So we put momentum into the backswing, then we sort of gather that momentum in transition, and the lead knee leads the parade of momentum in the downswing, and the end of the parade of momentum is the club head colliding with the ball. So then from there, if we've set things up properly, then our body can take our hands and arms around this corner so that we have control or balance. The outward pull and the inward pull are balanced around this corner, and then we can just fold it up from there. And that's going to give us the look of those great players that were efficient and played at high speeds for a really, really long time. So the impact bag, when you get really good at transferring energy into the impact bag, the breaking of my lower body, the transferring to my upper body, and the transferring out to the club head, that's the key to speeding up this end of the stick. So don't spin your body out, don't leave your arms back, don't drop the club way behind you. That's not going to be very fun on a windy day at Bandon Dunes with some rain and some, inclement conditions, some cold. We don't want to have a wobbly swing, and we don't want to have a wiggly club face. We want to have a clean transfer of energy out to the club head, and then we want to know how to keep everything in harmony around the corner.